Good morning, babies, and welcome to Simply Stacy, where the joy of the Lord is our strength. Well, I want to tell you, babies, today, live your life like it's the last day. So many people around here living miserable. They're living just in a suicidal state. Their mind is just tossed to and fro. But I want to tell you, baby, life is of the essence. We only get to do this life one time. One time. And if you look at your life right now, I don't care how old, young, if you've been here 2 years, 5 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 60 years on planet Earth. And a lot of people always go back in the past. Most of you are living in your past. That's why your future is bleak. That's why your moment right now is bleak, because you're living in the past. Past bad decisions, past issues that you can't get past. That's why life is looking so bleak for you, because you're living in the past. But I'm going to tell you, babies, live in the moment. Live like this is your last day. What would you do if this was your last day? People got these things, what they call them, the bucket list, what they would do if they was getting ready to die. They got a movie called The Bucket List. You know, the man thinks he's dying, he's getting ready to die of cancer or whatever, and he's doing all these things that he would have did. Don't wait until you get down to a bucket list at the bottom. At the bottom of the bucket and decide that I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. Live. Live. And make sure you live for God. You ones that are believers, you ones that are saints, you ones that are claiming salvation. Live for God. Keep His rules, keep His regulations, keep His ways. Don't walk in sin. Walk in love. What would you do if you knew this was your last day? What would you do? Ask yourself that today. What would you do if this was your last day? If you went to the doctor today, the doctor told you you get ready to die in a matter of hours. You get ready to die. What would you do? What would you do? Now, you got some people out here, as we know, they want the doctor to kill them so they don't have to suffer. Some people want to take that route. Some people will be depressed. Some people would try to kill themselves. Some people just be depressed all day long. Some people would go and get their family, spend their time with their family. They wouldn't go to their job today. They wouldn't do nothing. Now, I'm not telling y'all quit your job because you got to pay your bills, because if you ain't going nowhere, no bills going to be facing you. Oh, Lord, I know, honey, you got to laugh instead of cry. But, honey, don't quit your job now. Just in essence, in a case scenario, what would you do if this was your last day? What would you do? What would you do? Literally, what would you do if this was your last day on earth? What would you do? Sorry about moving this camera all around, honey. What would you do? What would you do? This is your last day on earth. What would you do? Now, some of y'all know y'all don't want to go to hell, so do you got your fire insurance? Do you got fire insurance? Have you gave your life to God? Do you got your fire insurance? Because this is real. You know, I'm laughing and stuff because, you know, I just want to make light, and I'm just silly like that sometimes. But for real, what would you do if this was your last day on earth? We need to live life like it's your last day, because you don't know when your number is going to be called. That's just reality. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter none of that. If this was your last day on earth, what would you do? What would you do? I believe we would live totally different than what we're living. Especially if you ain't living right. And this question just came in my spirit today. Me and my mom was talking, and we came into this conversation. What would you do if this was your last day on earth? What would you do? Because most people are teetering that fence in God. They just a weekend believer. Or like the man said in my class yesterday, you just a holiday believer. You know, on the holidays you believe in God. On Sunday you just believe in God. As soon as you get out of church, you're ready to go to the bar, go get a drink, go party, go lay back up with your boo that you left at home that didn't want to come to church with you. All this kind of shenanigans. But just ask yourself, what would you do if this was your last day on earth? What would you do? It's a serious thing. What would you do if this was your last day on earth? We need to live life like it's our last day on earth. How are you treating people today? Are you speaking to them? Are you walking in love? Are you walking in kindness and gentleness and long-suffering with them? Some things you wouldn't even be worried about if it was your last day on earth. You'd be like, worry about that. And that's how you need to do some of these things. Even if it ain't your last day on earth, just be like, I ain't worried about that. Don't sweat the small stuff. It's going to work on out. And most time you only got one or two solutions. And if you're not going to take one of those solutions, then what you going to do? Keep being stressed out? No, don't do it. Babies, live life like it's your last day on earth. You know, what you believe and how you live your life is being played out every day. And how you believe is what you're creating in your world. You're creating your life by your belief system. And some of you believe everything you hear on TV, in the songs, in this demonic world. You believe everything, but you don't believe God. You don't pick up your Bible, you don't pray, you don't fast, but you say you're a believer. And a lot of people, they're quick to say, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe in God. But you got to do more than believe in God. It's a life and a standard that you have to live and keep. Live life like it's your last day on earth. Live it. Be conscious of it. If you never got to say anything else, if you never got to see that person that you see now, what would you say if you knew it was your last day on earth? What would you do? What would you say? If you knew it was your last day on earth, what would you do? What would you say? Would you have said the things that you said just a minute ago? Would you do the things that you just did a minute ago if you knew this was your last day on earth? Would you? Would you do it? Babies, I love you, and so does God. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Just remember, live life. Live life like it's your last day on earth. Live life according to God. You know, God gives us a peace that surpasses all understanding. Some of you don't have no peace because you're not doing it God's way. You're doing it the enemy's way. And he's tormenting you every day, daily. Be in this world, but not of this world. Be in this world, but don't love the things in this world. Babies, I love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Smooth the sugar walkers.